This week on my sewing journey, I am working on Patchwork Dog. This large project, a little bit larger than I expected it to be. As you can see, I'm pulling back so you can see the whole entire dog, was made by squares left over from other projects. Now what I did was I measured 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches to make a 3.5 inch square. Next, I marked my seam allowances onto the fabric, so when I sew them together, they would all be the same. And what I did was I started with the face. Now the face, I did 6 of these squares sewed together, and then I sewed the little ear on the top. When doing these kinds of projects, you have to remember that you're going to have a left side of the face and a right side of the face. And where you put that ear, you have to pay close attention to it because it's going to be the opposite on the other side. So the ear goes here on this side, but on the other side of the face, you're going to put the ear on that side of the face. So when you sew these together, the ears will line up. Then next you will do 8 for the body, and you will sew the body onto the face, and you're going to do the same as you did with the ear with the tail. So on this side it'll be on this side, but on the other side it'll be on that side, which can be a little confusing. You might want to keep some paper handy to write left and right on so that you don't get too confused. And then next you sew on the 2 for the legs and the 2 for the hind legs. Now the interesting part comes. You're going to take about 28 of these squares and you're going to sew them together, right sides facing together, just like this. And you're going to make a long 28 square, and it's going to kind of look like a tube when you're done. You're going to sew that all the way together. Now you're going to pin right sides facing together onto one of the sides of your face, of your dog, all the way around. So that would include going up like this, and then all the way around, including around the ear and down, and then all the way around here and down. And you're going to keep pinning this so that the right sides face like this all the way down the whole entire project. And that includes bottom of the foot all the way around, because that's going to create this right here, what I'm showing you, the side seam of your dog. After you do that, you will sew that all the way around, and then next you will pin on the opposite side. Now be careful when pinning on the opposite side of the dog, because you're going to want to remember to leave an opening for yourself. Now I left 2 squares open where I just didn't sew here, so that I could turn the project to the right side, and I could also put the stuffing in. Now, you might want to do 3 squares if you're not comfortable with doing 2, or if you made your squares smaller, you might want to do a few squares. And then when you're done stuffing him or her, you'll fold in the raw edge like this on both sides, and then sew that together by hand, and then you're completed. Then you can do your eye, which you could use a piece of felt for the eye or a button for the eye, and you can put your bow on. If you have 2 seams that don't meet, what you can do if you don't like that is you could put a silk flower there, or a heart, or out of felt you could make a cowboy boot or a hat or a little football, and just applique that on to cover up any seams that you don't like on your project. These are a lot of fun to make. It took 68 of these squares to do this project. I hope you like this idea. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me today, and happy sewing.